aim to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds and the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Looking to pass, first play is Prescott. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early second and long they're facing. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing on second and long. Prescott. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are all the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. But we know that he can get first downs with his arm and his legs, Charles. And there, when he gets outside of the pocket, the defense has to account for both, and he's able to complete it for the first.
And he's very comfortable outside of the pocket. Some quarterbacks, that's not their thing. For him, that seems to be the #1 asset to his game. Gets out into the open field, things seem to break down the secondary a little bit, and he picks out the right target.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early, because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off. and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They won at 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
These two teams in that earlier in the season in Philly with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they're trying to win here in Philadelphia to capture the season series. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Prescott. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throwing, Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. And taken right at the 35. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. We do know that they are postseason bound, but they're leaking a little oil, so to speak. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
Now, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Hurts throw complete there to Smith. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one as a receiver is got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. The Eagles come into this one still undefeated this deep in the year despite the one tie. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
To try again after the sack. Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be a third and about 13. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series...
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Micah Parsons able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up fourth down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on fourth down. Back deep, Daz Newsome. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. He'll field this at the 5. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He's going to find Gallup here complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
There you go.
To throw again on second down. Prescott. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
46, 47. Go, get out there.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Throwing is Hurts. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the 1st half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Hurts. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Hurts to throw. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Elliott is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks are starting to pile up.
If they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. Open man Lamb, it's complete. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. To the air again, Prescott. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott off play action. Outright, he finds Tolbert. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Play action now, Prescott. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of the team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Here we go, here we go. Track 50, track 50.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to look deep for Watkins. They've got his man complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box, establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And he delivers another to Goddard, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
They'll try to run this one in. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. And looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
17 yards and a first down for Philly.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
19-18. Go.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. First down, Prescott. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. From the 41, Prescott. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now Prescott.
Fires the out route and completes it to Harris. And he will have a Cowboys first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left. On play action, Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Prescott. Throw left side complete. That's Ferguson. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
47.
Here's Prescott. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. This offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively trying to beat the 2-minute warning with a timeout, and they do. Calling it with 2:04 left. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. But first down, Hurts. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback. And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They go play action with Hurts. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then. And now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And that one could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now Dak. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 57 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
We go 46. We go 46.
Now Prescott. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Well, they knew a lot of steps had to happen here. They got step 1, the touchdown. You need a 2-point conversion here, don't you?
You do, and as you continue to look ahead, if they're able to get that, somehow get the ball back and get another score, they have to go for 2 again. That's why teams are practicing multiple 2-point plays.
We saw that in Super Bowl 51 with the Patriots getting a pair of big 2-point conversions. So this likely just to get the final score a bit closer given the time remaining, but they'll have a go for 2 here. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So this likely just to get the final score a bit closer given the time remaining, but they'll have a go for 2 here. One of the tight ends comes in motion. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Darius Slay with a pick.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Hurts sets up to throw it. Going deep here for Watkins. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. So fly, Eagles fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team